This video is brought to you by the color green. Welcome to the second installment of the Rynbow series, where I highlight a bunch of albums that have the common theme of green in their album art. There's 13 of them, so let's go! First on the list we have Tori Y. Moy's Causers of This. The 2010 release from the American chillwave artist is really good. I love it. It's groovy and catchy. It sounds like a mix of R&B and hip-hop that's has some vaporwave aesthetics with more electronica in it, and it's just always something you can bob your head to when it's in the background or kind of in the forefront. You get to listen to his lush, detailed sounds. That's hypnotic, almost. I'll definitely recommend. Blessa is one of my favorite songs on this. And something from this current year, we have West of Lincoln's The Golden Days Are Hard. This is a folk punk album that I don't really want to call just folk punk because they take so many influences throughout. They have like surf bass lines, they have some jazz instrumental, even like a freestyle jazz freak out, and some upbeat catchers like Ghost Explode. Even though this album is kind of more a little depressing with like troubling in your life and reminiscing about how hard those past days were and how hard your days are now. It has its ups and downs. Next we have one of my favorite albums, American Football. American Football, the first one. This is the 1995 release that's kind of a cult classic with math rock, as it's kind of a upbringing between like a mix of math rock, emo rock, and indie rock to kind of give the perfect sad Midwest suburban heaven that it draws a lot of inspiration from. I love the guitar licks throughout all the song, and the vocals are always very nice and soothing, even though they're a little bit sad sometimes. But it's great for some of the guitar licks. And also on math rock, they love to put green in their album covers, like quite a bit. If you want more, you can listen to Battles EPC-B EP and Piglet's Lava Land. You also have Dan Caparello's What Burns Never Returns, Tara Malawis's Drugs to the Dead Youth, Hella's Tripper, and Jaizu's Bookshelf, if you all want to listen to all those albums I also like. The next project we have Sparks' Kimono My House. This 1974 release from the brother band Russell and Ron Mael do an interesting twist, as it now has Ron writing most of the songs, which focuses more on Russell's vocals, as it kind of carries most of the track, or I just love listening to it as it's very catchy and earwormy, which made this album grow on me a lot. It's very kind of circus, warped mirror way with the pop rock from the 70s. It's fun to listen to, and it grew on me a lot.
Wow, a 70s album sounding like 70s rock? Wow.
Ah! Moving forward, we have Green Day. Uno. I didn't say all these albums were good. Did Green Day become the American Idiot? Because they did this 3 times. Those Trace. And it all sounds boring. Anyways, now we have Sparklehorse and Finesse, a collaborative project with In the Fish Tank 15. If you don't know what In the Fish Tank is, it's from a Netherlands record label where they take 1 or 2 bands and have them in the studio to record a whole album in that time. And they do a lot of different artists, so you should definitely check that out if you're interested. But on Sparklehorse and Finesse, they combine their 2 sounds to have like this ambient lo-fi sound that is very unhinged if I want to fall asleep, I guess. If I want sleep music. That's the best way to describe it. And if you love both of those 2 bands, you should definitely check this out. And now we have Death Grips Ex-Military, the 2011 mixtape. Oh, this bombastic shit is great. Go listen to Fantano. Okay, so I'm gonna... Yeah! 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 Moving down the list, we have Tobias Jess Jr., Goon. His solo release in 2015 is quite a throwback to the 70s singer-songwriter piano music with like Billy Joel. It gives me a lot of Piano Man vibes on this, as it's a lot of slow ballads throughout this record, but the record does get more uplifting halfway through it, the time. If you want that throwback, give this a listen. Staying in 2015, we have Snoop Dogg, Bush. This is not the Snoop Dogg I love on Doggy Style. This is kind of an R&B Snoop Dogg, as he just doesn't sound his best. He's not featured on a lot of his tracks here. He features a lot more other artists to do verses and choruses, and just it doesn't have as much bite like I want Doggy Style to have. But if you like the R&B, then give this a listen. It's all right. The next album we have is Ted Leo and the Pharmacists, Hearts of Oak. This 2003 release is the third album from this pop punk band. I love to put this to sing along in the car, as Ted Leo's vocals flow very well and nice through the groove as the band puts on very upbeat and catchy songs with a lot of plays and dynamics as they go loud and quiet throughout just even the verses and choruses most of the time. If you really want a good pop punk band to listen to in the car, put on this. It reminds me a lot of the intro song to the TV show Friends for some reason. I keep thinking they were like the same artist, same vocalist, which they're not. Moving on, we have Fishmans' Long Season. This is the 1996 release on Palador Records that is kind of coming up as a cult classic now, as this band has many sounds and loves to push you slightly into the next sound without you realizing, as it's once a kind of beautiful landscape to see to sound like a final boss sound on a 40-hour-long JRPG. The band does tremendous works getting psychedelics, indie rocks, and electronic to make such a blend that's so unique. Give it a listen if you want something like that. The next record we have is Big Black, Songs About Fucking. I'm gonna laugh every time I say that. This is the 1987 release from the head man himself, Steve Albini, who would later make Shellac, which also a band I love. This album is very harsh punk sound. I don't even know if we want to call it punk, as it's so harsh noise with roaring, slashing guitars throughout. It's very popular DIY underground, as you clearly tell. It sounds like they don't even care how it sounds, but of course that's the point, because they love making sex jokes on this too. If you like that stuff, give this a listen, or just post the album cover everywhere. And now we have Natsukasi, definitely butchered that, Driving East. This is the 2018 release from Dead Bison Records, as it's a very ambient electronic album that gives me a lot of curiosity. It's very low in the background, and I love to sleep to it, as the electronic bleeps and boops are just so evenly spaced and so relaxing to listen to. Even the name Natsukasi even means the transitioning of the mind, like nostalgia or something. Cool. And finally, last on the list, we have Young Thug's Not So Fun. His 2019 release is not the best place on the bottom of this list, since I'm not going to have much to talk about, since I'm not a big SoundCloud rap fan. But Young Thug definitely has his style on here. Definitely all certified bangers on here. Definitely some more popular songs like Hot and Bad 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 are great to listen to for the club. But it's also not as loud as you expect for the club. You could still put it in the background for a nice vibe too. And that's the end of the list. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. And if you want more videos, please subscribe. And bye-bye.